float kit. It's a float capable. It can be put on floats where that one can't. But there's here. It sucks from there, goes in here, creates pressure. It's wind driven, so it's come out of annual. So all that spot is where a bird's hit me, in the exhaust.
So what happens when you have a bird strain? You just keep flying? All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Whirlwind Aviation. I'm back here in Fisher, Arkansas at Whirlwind Aviation. I don't know if you guys remember or not, about 5 months ago, I was traveling through for work, and I saw this air tractor sitting out here, so I decided to stop and talk to Rodney. He let me take a video of his air tractor. So now we're kind of back through, and I wanted to make a little longer video, kind of interview Rodney, ask him a few questions about how he got started in aviation and agricultural aviation. So, how you doing?
Doing just fine. You?
Great. Glad to be here again.
Glad to have you.
So that first video, I got a lot of likes on it, a lot of interest about agricultural flying. So, how'd you get into agricultural? Or when did you first get your pilot's license, and what made you want to be an ag pilot?
I got my pilot's license in '89.
Okay.
'89. Got my commercial in '92. I think in '92. Got my instrument rating in between them. And I was born and raised here. I lived 7 miles from here my whole life. And I grew up on the farm.
Okay.
My dad was a rice buyer for 46 years, and it was something that was a common occurrence here. You seen ag planes, and it was an older generation, the old round motors, and they always fascinated me, and I always knew the older generation, and it was something that I always wanted to do. I got out of high school and went to college for a couple of years, and told my dad that college wasn't for me, and I wanted to be a pilot. And he said, well, he was paying for my college, and he said, well, I'll make you a deal. If you will pay for your private license, I'll pay for your commercials.
Oh, wow.
So at the time, I was working at a fertilizer company, or a co-op as they call them here, that delivers chemicals and fertilizers. And I'd met some of the gentlemen that were flying, and one of them took me under his wing. And well, during that time, I bought my own tailwheel airplane, and I would work during the day and I'd fly at night. So I got my private license with mostly nighttime.
Oh, wow.
So once I got them, my dad said, okay. He didn't think I could, didn't think I would, because I was real young. And after that, I got my license, got my commercials, and the gentleman that I'd worked with that would fly, and he hired me to come to South Texas. And I moved to South Texas and flew for him. And he put me in Piper Brave, and I flew that and got time in it. And then he put me in a 600 Thrush, and I flew that for a while. And then after that, I moved back to Arkansas.
Okay.
And back to home.
Back home.
Back to home, and I've flown just a little bit of everything since then.
Awesome. What was it like going? So these airplanes that we're about to take a walk around, they're turboprops. What was it like going from, a piston engine to a turboprop the first time?
Night and day. Night and day. It's a lot more responsive, a lot more smoother, a lot more less pressure on you than the round motors. The round motors back in the day, they were notoriously for quitting. You'd blow cylinders.
Oh, wow.
You had trouble with them all the time, and the turbines are so much more efficient. I mean, it's like flying a hot rod compared to a bob truck.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I grew up, I worked on helicopters in the Army, and there's nothing like that startup and having that turbine engine, and just sounds great. And that smell, the exhaust, and the jet fuel. I'm sure that
smells like money. That's what I tell everybody. When the turbine is running, the turbine, it smells like money.
I bet. So what's your favorite airplane here? I noticed you have a do a kind of shot of that 180.
Well, that's my favorite airplane. This is my 180.
Okay, so that's for play and.
That's for play. These are working. These are machines. These are workers. They cost a lot of money, but they can gross a lot of money. As far as flying ag, probably this 802 is my favorite aircraft.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little harder on your legs than the other airplanes. The other airplanes are a lot lighter on the controls, but this one is really stable in higher winds, and it can get off the ground where the other ones struggle. I mean,
Okay.
the 802 is by far my favorite.
Oh, great. What's a typical, I guess, season? I know we're kind of talking off camera about your season. I guess what month is your season, and then like what's your typical day like?
The months start, I'll say that we start early in the year, but it's not a very long, or off and on, just doing different things like burn down and stuff like that. But when we start off our season, typical season is flying liquid in the mornings. We'll be here at daylight, which is most of the time the airplane. I try to leave the ground by 5:30 in the morning.
Oh wow.
Going to the field, and I'll do my farthest field away first, so that be bright, more light.
Okay.
And we'll run liquid, and then when the wind gets up or we get to where we need to be for the day, we will change them over. And when I'm talking about changing them over, we're taking them from a liquid part, we're putting spreaders on them, and we're going to a dry.
Okay.
So we're putting a spreader on them, and we put out fertilizers, or we can seed rice or anything a granular form.
Oh wow. So
And
you actually plant from the
we can
sky?
plant from the aircraft.
Oh, wow.
And we will do that all day long, or until we get caught up, whichever one comes first. And at the end of the day, we roll them back in, and we change them from dry back over to liquid, because first things in the mornings when she's the coolest, the wind's the calmest. And
Okay.
we run liquid in the morning, start out, it's the same cycle all day.
Oh wow.
And, we wash them every night, to get rid of all the chemicals and the fertilizers and all that causes them corrode so bad. So
Yeah.
it's long hours. It's very long hours.
It seems like, a lot of people that fly, it sounds like you're in the airplane 8+ hours a day, and there's
On an average.
a lot of hard work and flying, because there's no autopilot in this, right? And it's
No,
just
sir.
all real flying, right? Just
All
pedal and controls
100% by your own ability. Everything is cabled. We don't fly by wire.
Wow.
Everything is manual. Your rudders, ailerons, your elevators, everything is attached to that stick. So, everything we have trim on everything, and there's servos and
Okay.
stuff like that to make it, make it feel a little better.
Yeah.
But it's a hands-on.
Okay. Well, I know ag pilots, you guys are very important, and you guys are doing a lot of hard work. I love aviation, anything to do with aviation, and I know the farming community, they love you guys, you ag pilots. What's, I guess, one little bit of advice you'd have for somebody that's, I guess, already got their pilot's license but wants to go into agricultural flying?
Find an operator, because it's not really it's cost preventative for a young person to get into the ag industry, because of the cost of the insurance and the cost of the aircraft. But if you'll find an operator that you're willing to work with, that he is willing to work with you,
Right.
that will take you under his wing, come in there with the attitude, I'm willing to do anything it takes to get the job done, and start on the ground, learn the business from the bottom up.
Okay.
Don't try to come into the business and start at the top, because the top is reserved for the ones that's been in it for so long, or the owners.
Right.
You've got to start at the bottom, and to get the feel of the whole business and to be a better pilot, you need to start at the bottom. Load the airplanes,
Yeah.
wash the airplanes, know how to work on the airplanes, the maintenance that we do on them. That adds to your ability always. And as time goes on, the operator will have more trust in you, and he will, if y'all can figure out a way, he will take that in consideration, and he might buy a smaller airplane. He might help you get started. He might take you under his wing and say, okay, I'm going to put you in a smaller one and we'll train you to get up. And then when you get to where you're able to take over, he might say, hey, I'm ready to call it done. I'll let you fly my airplane.
Right.
And that's the way it is. I mean, you've got to start out at the bottom. You can't start out at the top, and you can't come into the business expecting to fly the largest.
Right. Can't fly the big boy. Or the
You
most
can't
fun.
fly the big boy. You can. There's lots of people that start in the business that flies the big ones.
Yeah.
But realistically, the smaller ones and the working the other aircraft, they teach you a lot that you need to know.
Right.
And the older generation has a lot of experience to teach you the things that you need to know, the shortcuts, the ways to stay safe. It's all about going home at night.
Yeah.
No matter how many hours that you fly during the day, it's all about going home to your wife and your family at night. And the safest way, you got to learn that.
Yeah.
And I don't really know exactly how it goes, but how do you get experience? From bad decisions. How do you quit making bad decisions? By experience.
Yeah, interesting.
So the job of your mentor is to try to show you the experience without you having to deal with the bad decisions.
Yeah.
Bad decisions don't always come out in the best way.
Right. So you've been there and made those bad decisions, so hopefully you can pass that off to that next younger
Right.
person.
So you can pass that other one on
So
to,
they don't have
this is what I've learned. This is what you need to be doing. A lot of the younger generation don't like that constructive criticism.
Right.
But you've got to look, most generally the older generation has done it already.
Yeah.
Sometime they have done probably everything that you think you ever thought you're going to do, they've probably already done it.
Right.
Some of them paid the price for it.
Yeah. Paved the way though.
Yeah, and some of them didn't live to tell about it. So, it's a learning experience every day. I've got thousands and thousands of hours, but the job every day I learn something new.
Wow.
And every day something will scare you. It'll scare you.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll do something and say, "Whoa, we don't need to do that on the next pass."
I think you need to keep that open mind too. Like you said, like you're always learning something new, and just because you have thousands of hours, that doesn't mean that you know everything, right?
No, don't get complacent.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes outside the cockpit. Number one rule: fly the airplane.
Right. Yeah.
Quit worrying about what's inside that cockpit.
Never stop flying the airplane.
Never stop flying the airplane. Don't let go of the stick until you turn around and it's stopped. Fly the airplane to the last waking minute. No matter what happens, fly the airplane.
Great advice.
Don't give up on it. I mean, it may not be the best position where it's going to be, and it ain't going to look pretty when it gets done, but don't quit flying the airplane. I look at a lot of things. You see all these aircraft and everything, and everything that I have, God gave me.
Yeah.
He gave me the opportunity. He opened the doors. He made, I believe that you're going to work. So he opened the doors for me to work, but everything that I have out here is a gift from God.
Wow.
And I don't take that for granted. And young people need to look at that too, because, you never know day to day when the good Lord's going to come back.
Right.
And you need to be right.
Yes, sir.
You don't need to be so consumed in making a dollar that you taken away where you're going to spend eternity. And money is not everything.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Great words of wisdom. I appreciate it. And one of the things I want to do with one-legged aviation as I continue to build my airplane and go talk to great pilots like yourself and
I don't know about about great pilots.
Well, mentors and people that have done that. I want to inspire the next generation. So hopefully somebody watching this will be inspired to be a crop duster, ag pilot.
Well, we need them. They need
your time.
them.
So if you want, I'd love to get a kind of a quick walk around, kind of the main components.
Okay.
I guess whichever airplane, which one's your
Doesn't
favorite?
matter
This
which one. This one here is fine. Or we can walk around this back one back here. It doesn't matter. We can walk this one.
So right here, I'm guessing.
This is where our booms go.
Okay.
They clamp on. You stick them in. There's a T-boom that mounts underneath there. They're all over there for winter. We've got them winterized. The T-boom clamps in these holders right here,
Okay.
and it's a boom, and it goes up. It ties in to this box right here. This is our flow control.
Okay.
This, I set it to tell how many gallons per acre I want to put out in there. The flow, it'll set that automatically.
Some sort of gate. in
Yeah,
there
it's
or
got a little electric motor. You know,
Okay.
it opens and shuts a valve.
Yeah.
All right, the next one up. This is what this part in front of the flow control is your flow meter. This is actually what's metering how much water is going through that boom, or chemical or product.
Okay.
So that is what tells the computer, and then the computer tells this what to set. You know how, because what it does is if you're spraying across the field, if you're running faster one pass, it'll open that valve up so you're still putting out 5 gallons. And if you're going slower, it'll shut the valve so you're still putting out 5 gallons instead of one pass might get 6 and one pass might get 4.
So I'm guessing you didn't have that when you first started flying.
No, sir. We didn't have that. It was just an average.
So that's a nice upgrade.
That's a very nice thing. That makes it more, that's a more precision work, you know, instead of just running off of pressure. We used to run off of pressure, and you, by your speed, by your swath, and you calibrated, and you took the average. So, you know, one pass might get 6, one pass might get 4. You know, it just depends on the wind,
Yeah.
up and down. Well, the T-boom goes on here, and then those booms go on here, and we've got nozzles. They go all the way out to the last boom hanger, and you've got different nozzles, and you turn different orifices on to put out different gallonages.
Okay.
You know,
I think in one of my videos a couple weeks ago, we were in Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, at the Agricultural Museum. I saw a plane in there. They had nozzles on the leading edge.
on the leading edge.
That's
Yes.
interesting to see.
I think an AgCat had them. First ones that AgCat, or a Stearman maybe in a Stearman.
I think, yeah, I don't know which airplane that was. But. Okay, so
But these are like I said, this is where the booms go. They just clamp on. This is the hopper. This is where we put, I'll show you on the back side where we fill it with the liquid, but the lid opens up, and there's a set of augers. I should have showed you all that a while ago. There's a set of augers in there. When we load dry, we put them in there, and then the augers will come on, and it'll pack that hopper, and the lid automatically closes. And it flows out of here. When we're running dry, we turn these vents around, and it pressurizes the hopper, and it shoves the fertilizer out here, and this drops in. Our spreader goes on here, and we hang it on the boom hanger. There's brackets on the way here on these arms that the spreader hangs on.
Okay.
And then there's the valve. That valve comes around and hatches right here is the pump. And when we're running liquid, we have the pump on. When we have dry, we're running with the spreader. So this comes off when we're running dry. But the pump goes here. It sucks from there, goes in here, creates pressure. And it's wind driven. So,
Wow.
they're new ones. They're new ones. You can have a hydraulic one or you can have an electric one. We still run the old wind driven kind.
Okay.
And it pumps that liquid back into that valve. That valve is a spray valve. That was the lever that goes up and down, controls that valve. So it opens and it runs through the flow meter and into your booms.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, and over here is the spreaders that we run. They go underneath them, the gate part, drops in here, fertilizes it there, slings it out.
All right. So this is just for dry,
This is just for dry.
and you can do, you said
Seed.
seeds or pesticide or
Fertilizers.
Fertilizers,
Fertilizers and seeds. You know, we do seeding. We're rice, so most what we seed a little bit of rice every year. And, most years it's just fertilizer.
So we're in Arkansas. I guess where are we at?
We're in northeast.
Northeast of Arkansas. So the crops around here are mostly rice.
Mostly rice. Where I'm at is, when you go a little ways over, you're in the corn and cotton. Mostly cotton and corn. You go that way, it's diversified more. But through this area where I'm at, I'm soybeans and rice. That's all we have. We do have corn now, but not as much as elsewhere. Most of our crop is rice.
Okay, awesome.
This is the valve. This is where we hitch our hose up, it puts the chemical into the hopper.
Okay.
So when we get a load, they mix it over here in our other building, and it's ready for them when I get back in. They hitch the hose up, pump in. This is our hopper quantity gauge. Tells us how much we want it. There's one inside. We fill it up to where we want it, and then shut them off.
How long does that take to fill up?
Less than 5 minutes.
Oh, wow, so that's pretty quick.
It's pretty quick.
So they fill up here, they hook up, and then whoever's filling it up, they can see on the gauge here, and you can see in the cockpit.
Yes, I'll shut them off, tell them. But if I get out of the airplane and do something, I'll tell them how many gallons I want.
Okay.
And they'll shut it off, tell the pump, and they'll shut it off, and it'll be ready when I get back in the airplane.
Are there ever days where you got to land, hook it up yourself, then disconnect, get back in, and
There's
go?
days where you have to hook it up yourself, and after you get done, you unhook it and you mix your next load
Oh, wow.
to get ready for when you come back in.
Long days. That's a lot
Yeah,
of
when
hard
you
work.
don't have nobody, or if your guys are gone to another strip, we'll come back in here while the other guys are on the other strip. And, we'll change the airplane back over from dry to liquid and may run a load at night, late in the afternoon, and mix our own load for ourselves and go out and do the job.
Awesome. Real quick, what kind of airplane is this?
Air Tractor 802A,
802A, and then how big is the hopper?
800 gallon.
And then the engine, what type of engine? And how
That's
much
a
horsepower?
Pratt & Whitney PT6-65 AG.
Okay.
It's a,
For agricultural?
1195, 1175. It's somewhere less than 1200.
Less than 12. That's a lot of horsepower still, though. Wow. Okay. Any other more important components, or is that pretty much?
That's that's what makes the airplane. Everything else is just a regular airplane. Okay. That's what makes it an ag plane. I mean, we do have, like I said, a hopper system in them, where years ago, a guy had to get up, and they called it hopping a wing. He had to run and hop up on the wing, and the truck would pull up, and we'd have buckets, had fertilizer in them, and they'd pull a lever, and they'd fill that hopper up manually.
Oh, wow.
Now then, we got augers that come up. The truck drives up, and the auger, we open the door hydraulically. He hits the center, and when it gets up tight, he slows down. And we got an auger switch that we turn on, and it'll auger and pack the sight, pack the hopper, and then we wave him off. He backs away. We shut the lid, and we're gone.
Okay.
But years ago, we had to have a guy that did that every load.
That's a lot of work, too.
That's a lot of work. That guy worked. It's a young man's job. That was a young man's job.
Not me anymore.
That's when he was talking about learning to fly or what I did. That's what I did. That's how I met the older generations.
Wow.
I loaded, and there's still some of them that I loaded back in the '90s that are still flying. They're just and they're still really good pilots.
And then what's this aircraft over here?
It's the same thing. It's just an older version. It's just 2 years older.
2 years on it. Still
Yeah.
looks great.
This one's got VGs. It's just
Okay, so vortex generators.
it's a 14 model, where the other one was a 16. This one, like I said, the only thing different between the two is, like I was telling you earlier, this one has a float kit. It's a float capable. It can be put on floats, where that one can't.
Okay.
But they're the same. This one's got a glass cockpit. The gauges are glass. It's digital. Mine is the one that I fly is the old steam kind. I still fly the old gauges. This one's got radios. It can go into big airports. Go into Class B.
That doesn't really, with these are just small strips that you're flying out in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, this one here can go into, like I said, into Class B, where mine can't. Mine don't have transponder. Mine don't have radio. This one's got it all.
Wow.
This one can go. This one goes up north and flies when we're done here.
Can I climb up and look at it? Yep. Is that all right?
That's fine. This one's hard to get into though.
I don't know if I'll go all the way in.
Better you than me.
This one is hard to get into because it's got the radios and the stuff on the other side where
Oh, yes. Yeah.
excuse them being dirty. We haven't had time to clean them. We just got them out of the maintenance shop.
Then real quick, I guess I remember last time I was here, you were saying something about this part right here.
Yeah, I call them a dorsal. These are on 802s.
Okay.
It's for more control, more stability. Without them, with them.
Great.
I don't know if they've been building 802s for a long time. I think the first ones didn't have them on it, but they've had them on it as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Step here, or-
All right, you step right there. Put one foot there. Take that foot and swing it all. Well, you can either stand on this rail. And there's a handle up on the windshield. See that bar on the windshield? Up in the middle.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take the other hand, and grab it.
So this one?
Your right hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Now then, pull yourself around. Put your foot on them. Yeah, you can either stand there and put your both feet up top and then step down in there, or you can swing your foot on in and put it on the floorboard. It don't matter either way. I stand on it.
All right, so it's roomier than I thought it'd be.
I think okay, the smoker switch is, that puts smoke into my exhaust so I can check the wind. While I'm spraying, I can run past the smoke,
Okay.
and it'll tell me the direction of the wind's flowing.
Gotcha.
So, and the other, that's the spray lever. No, that's the dump panel.
Okay.
We don't ever, that lever that you had that had the smoker, that's the spray lever.
Okay.
This has got a hydraulic gate. So that toggle switch on that lever, up and down, see the toggle switch on
Yeah,
that
yeah.
spray lever? Okay. What that does is that opens and shuts my hydraulic gate. Like when we're running fertilizer, that's how I open the gate and shut the
Okay.
gate. Now to spray, I'm pushing that lever down. To spray, I'm pulling the lever up to shut it off.
Okay.
So you push it down when you enter the field and pull it up when you leave the field.
Okay.
The gate, the toggle switch is the same thing. When you enter the field, you flip the toggle switch open. It opens the gate. We put out the fertilizer. When you get to the end of the field, you shut it. You lead it. You shut it a little bit, and it shuts off. And
Is the pull for heat down here your heat?
that's the heat.
Okay. So, yeah.
Turn the key on right there.
This
Yeah,
one?
that one. All right. Now you hear that up front? That's my oil cooler running. See that blue lever over there? That blue knob?
Here,
That right there, that blue knob, push
Yeah.
it forward. Okay, right there. That turned the oil cooler off. It goes off when you power up.
Okay.
That way it ain't sitting there running. Okay, now then, let's see. Over there, yes, over on that far side, there's a toggle switch. It says GPS, sat lock. And there's two toggle switches
Right.
underneath, nope, underneath there.
Oh, okay. I got sat lock. Right.
That one, flip that one on.
This one?
Yep.
So how much time when you are flying, how much time do you spend in here on a day?
From 5:30 in the morning till dark.
That's a lot of flying.
It's a lot of flying. Some days, we don't spend that much time in them, but in the past, we have 5:30 in the morning. We'll run liquid in the morning, and when the wind gets up, we'll change over to fertilizer, and we'll fly till dark. And then the guys will change it over and back to liquid and wash it and put it up.
You gotta wash it every time.
We wash it every night just to make sure everything. Hit that OK on the screen. Okay, now then, to see the top lever up there that says run until the track touch ring, touch
Yep.
it. All right, it's gonna come up. It'll take a minute. It's got to run through its schedule. Okay, it's coming up.
Is that window in there? Is that into the hopper?
That's into the hopper.
Yeah, I was looking down there too.
And there's another one in the bottom. They're kind of filthy.
As long as you can see your levels, I guess that's
Yeah,
what
well, I
matters.
have them scrub them before we start flying. That's just been set up.
Yeah.
Okay, hit that exit. It'll run you to. All right. Well, you can look at this screen right here. See, that top button is, see, it says pattern over here. It says quick racetrack. That's your pattern. That's how you set your pattern. All right.
Okay.
Then your swath width, and then whether you're going to go when you set your swath width where you want your field to be to your right or left.
Yeah.
That's what the right or left is, in right left. The load hopper is, you can tell how much you're putting in the hopper, and it'll keep up with it on the screen. All right, hit exit. All right, there, it won't have the airplane in it because you'll be an airplane in the center because it don't have no differential, don't have no, can't get no satellite signal
Yeah.
right now. So it says no GPS, but
Right.
it'll have everything, and that's, you know, it tells you. And the light bar, it says don't tell you, it says warning, no GPS.
Yeah.
One side I keep it is my pass, and then my speed, and my off, how far I'm off on one side. You know, it tells me
Okay.
my lead-in angle.
So you're getting a lot of your information out there, so you can
Yes.
keep eyes out of the cockpit.
Yep, hit. All right, hit setup. Okay, hit setup over here again. Okay, now then, we're going to look here at the light bar. Hit that light bar button. Okay, that light bar tells us, okay, now hit setup. Okay, that's telling me whatever my numbers are on my screen. See, my first number, on the far screen, there's a set of 4 numbers across there where it says warning, no GPS. The first one is my pass number. The second one is my cross track distance. My third one is my acreage, how many acres is in the field. And the fourth one is my speed
Okay.
that I've got going through there. And then this is how many feet my light, every button, every light is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Okay.
and then it goes out a little further every time. That's them lights. There'll be a row of, there's 2 rows of lights. The top ones that you see that looks kind of like purple,
Yeah.
that's my light bar that I follow through the field. The bottom one is a lead-in angle, and
Okay.
it's another one down here at the bottom. And when you're on your pass, there'll be a line that goes down the middle. There'll be 3 lights that light up and down.
Okay.
One side's green, one side's red, and the one's in the middle is orange.
Okay.
So, but you can hit exit right there. It just put us back to the main screen.
Gotcha.
I mean, nothing.
That's really cool.
This airplane's equipped with something there's not very many of in there, and it had the only set there was in the world. It's one, I think, of 26 now in the world.
Oh wow.
It's got a set of bird lights.
Oh, really?
Hop out, and we can leave the key on.
Okay,
You have to
leave the
see
key
them.
on.
Yeah, you have to see
Okay.
them. A UV light
Okay.
that they don't like, and it does work. It deters them. They've got to see it. If they see it, they'll pull away from the airplane.
Okay.
And I have had no strikes when I don't run them. When I run them, excuse me. When I don't run them, I'll have bird impacts. I'll have
wow.
bird strikes. But Air Tractor is the only ones that have these right now on their aircraft. You can order them, but I think I want to say don't hold me to it. I think there's 26 sets of them in the world. But the first set went here that I ran. And then this is Air Tractor's version of them. So you can retrofit them's where my landing lights are. And they take your landing lights out and you put those in.
So you don't have landing lights anymore?
I don't have those in there. All I got's the nose lights now.
Okay.
I don't have the landing lights. But I'm never out till pitch black anymore. So I would rather have the safety of not hitting. Because when I start flying in the spring, we have a real bad duck and goose population.
Okay.
And they do, well, this one here, is it this one here? Yeah, this one. This airplane was 1 year old, wasn't even a year old when it hit that goose.
Oh,
You
you're,
see?
you're talking big birds too, like
Yeah,
Canadian geese and
yes. And you can see where it rippled.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And let's see, I've got them. And that was prior to the lights. I haven't had no strikes since. Normally, it's come out of annual, so all that spot is where a bird's hit me, in the exhaust. And
So what happens when you have a bird strike? You just keep flying, or you
just
land?
keep going. they hit my pumps. My brother, he flew for me, and he hit a crane, flew up, and it was going away from him, and at the last minute it turned and come back in. It went completely through his windshield and hit him in the face.
Oh no.
And he landed, and I mean, he had blood all over him, and everybody thought, he was bleeding really bad. And it wasn't his blood; it was a crane. It did bust his nose open. His visor broke in the center, and the visor cut his face open. But if he'd had these, I don't think it would have hit him.
Wow.
But you can see on the leading edges, there's more. There's more things. See.
Yeah. I appreciate the walk around. I appreciate your time, and
Anytime.
I love aviation, and we're kind of joking around like, whenever you see an airplane fly over, you always got to stop and look up at it, and
Never do. No matter how old you get, you still do that.
yeah. So I just appreciate being able to stop over and spend some
Come
time
by
with you and
anytime.
learn it. So I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you, and next time we're through, I'll have to stop back by.
Stop back by and see me.